ɛna yɛde ɛyɛ phone no ebisi meka kyerɛ mu sɛ nnɛ yɛba abɛtwitwe nkɔmmɔ afa ɛyɛ prostate cancer ɛho na ɛyɛ a medeɛ mewɔ hɔ no na mete yɛka prostate a mete ane sɛ ɔbɛrima bia wɔ prostate ɔbɛrima bia wɔ prostate ɛne na ɛkyerɛ sɛ na kyerɛ sɛ ɔbɛrima bia wɔ cancer anaasɛ ɛkyerɛ sɛn ɛba ne sɛ na sɛ ɔbɛrima bia ɛwɔ prostate a ɛtumi ɛbɛyɛ cancer ɛkɔfa nsɛm ɛba ɛkwan bi ɛwɔ hɔ nom a yɛbɛtumi aprevente sɛ ɔbɛrima bia wɔ saa prostate no ɛntumi ɛmbɛyɛ cancerous anaa sɛ mpo no wonya prostate cancer na process bɛn na ɛwɔ sɛ wofam dɛn na ɛwɔ sɛ wotumi ɛyɛ a ɛnte ɛyɛ wo nkwa so anaasɛ ɛnyi wo ɛmfiri asase so nti ɛnɛ conversation no yɛnsa aka ɛyɛ Dr Stephen Kpatsi ɛwɔ hanom ɔyɛ resident clinical oncologist ɛwɔ National Center for Radiotherapy Oncology and Nuclear Medicine ɛwɔ Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Enti no utumi hu say yes post no esopa utumi hu say yes wosua ade yie papa enya asem ketwa nti ono ena no pay no oba be cheche yensem mu a very very important conversation enti me pa chew enfi wo radio ne ho tie because e bia mo ye lucky a na me ne doctor eka na se obepene a e betumi e bie phone lines no ema mo wo questions kakra motumi ebisa oye Dr. Mua ankasa enti no enye se oba betena abo ni sirem aka asem bi enti no mwenya doctor we free consultation ena mo be abenya no enti no montwem ban mu radio no Dr. Stephen anope me ma wakwaba say wa join here e wo happy morning show so thank you we will do the interview in English and I say wo de be fra my kakra we should mix it. Mix it. Okay. Yes. Now, my first question. English. Okay, yeah. No problem. My first question maybe Sandy say, is it true that Obama be our prostate?
Okay. So thank you very much, and thanks to all the listeners who are listening to us this morning. Yes, every man has got a prostate. So no, the women don't have a prostate. Okay. So the prostate is a gland. It's a normal gland or a normal organ that is located in men.
Okay.
And every man has got one. It is located your baby a friend of bladder.
Okay.
Bladder ni baby a nipiduano junso na ebe she bladder ne mu. It is a reservoir. It is a bladder na what thing kase junso do. Then you go and then you urinate. Just below the bladder no. Before Johnson if bladder no more air barbontia a fat baby a friend of urethra nemo until urethra no a fat prostate anymore. So the prostate lies just below the bladder.
Okay.
And every man has got a prostate and it has its normal functions in the male when it is working well or when the male is growing up until the point where it may develop cancer in it.
Yes. No usual function.
Okay, so the normal or the major function of the prostate is that it produces something we call the seminal fluid.
Okay.
It produces some fluid that forms part of semen for a man. So when a man ejaculates, the whatever comes out when a man ejaculates, 30% of that is actually produced from the prostate gland. So it is very essential in terms of reproduction because its contents are essential for a man to be fertile.
And is this something that say ye free wa? Me fan say nipa no only problem bia on develop a problem bia, but for to say bia or baby or to make us so nebusiem no breast cancer ewo mu pa to protect her from getting breast cancer no or person yi no for no fi ho na say bibi be ma so betimi take his decision na based on functions of prostate ni no.
So I understand your question very well, but it can, but it is not something that is recommended.
Well, okay.
It's not recommended. It's not unlike breast because the prostate, as I mentioned earlier on, has very essential functions. Apart from its function of producing 30% of the semen, it's also involved in the ability to control your urine. So taking the prostate out might cause a risk of the man not being able to control his urine flow adequately. So there's a risk of taking out your prostate when there is no problem with it. So it's not something that is recommended.
Okay. And as we've established, every man has a prostate or one functions. Prostate cancer, no.
Okay. So it's worth mentioning that every organ in the human body, every organ from the head to the toe, every organ in the human body can develop cancer in it.
Okay.
From the skin, the bone, the breast, as we already know, the intestines, the liver, every organ. So also the prostate being a gland, as it grows. So generally, before I mention, let me just separate that. We have something that we call BPH. We are sure what's BPH pain. So that one is benign prostatic hyperplasia. And no yet cancer. Okay. In pain, prostate. They are talking about signs and symptoms that most of the time is due to BPH. Okay. But we have prostate cancer. So as the man grows, there can be changes in the prostate gland, and these changes is what can make it develop into a cancer.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there like age limit? Be and I say, be a winnie edum pempen so be then you are prone to develop a prostate cancer.
Okay. So there are risk factors. Quite a number of them. But the most important of the risk factors is age. Okay. So prostate cancer has a very linear relationship with age. As a man grows older, the chances of him developing prostate cancer is very high. In fact, research evidence actually shows that about 40% of men, autopsy specimen shows that about 40% of men who are over 50 years do have some evidence of cancer in their prostate, most of which is insignificant. So it may never have been diagnosed. But when these prostates are taken out at autopsy and inspected, 40% of men over 50 years do have some evidence of prostate cancer. Okay. Apart from that, too, about 80% of men over 70 years. So you realize that from 40% over 50 and now 80% over 70. Okay. So as the man grows older, his risk of developing prostate cancer also goes up.
Okay. Is there a chance obia or younger than age to prostate cancer?
Yes, it is. Usually, most of the diagnoses we see, about 70% are people above 65 years. Okay. So, but it doesn't mean that people who are younger cannot have it. Okay. In fact, we've seen people who are in their 40s who have developed prostate cancer, even though they are not even in these age ranges I've mentioned. So, every man is at risk, but it's worth knowing that the risk is higher for people who are above these particular ages. Okay. And let me just add that there are other risk factors apart from age. One of the other major risk factors is family history. Okay. So if you have a family member who has developed prostate cancer before, for example, if the person is your brother or your father, then your risk of getting prostate cancer is much higher. Okay. So if you have just your father having prostate cancer, you have about twice a risk of somebody who doesn't have of developing prostate cancer. Whereas if you have both your father or your brother or two first degree, we call them first degree relatives, people who are either father or brother directly related to you. And then if you have extended family members, two or more extended family members also developing prostate cancer, your risk also goes up. Okay. And then it keeps going. There are other risk factors. I'm sure you might want me to mention them later.
Now, may be wedi 50, wedi 60 kono. Then our prostate cancer obetumi ehu so we be our prostate cancer, because as you mentioned earlier obi mkra ho mo prostate cancer, but it's insignificant into your mukra no omu nima omunam ho ye mwade.
Okay. So the signs and symptoms are bema obi ehu say wanya prostate cancer no. It almost always depends on the stage of that disease. Okay. And then how big the disease is in the prostate, and also which part of the prostate the cancer is located. So all of this may point to the signs and symptoms that the individual may find first. One of the commonest symptoms is before I mention that, let me just say that I mentioned earlier on that the prostate, the urethra, where ubejunso on airban, a fat prostate in infant and ababontin. Now, when the man develops prostate cancer, or as he grows older and he develops prostate cancer, the prostate generally increases in size. Okay. Most of the time, and then it might constrict or compress or impress on the urethra, which is lying in the middle of it. So what it means is that the free or the ability of the man to easily pass urine like he did before will change, because now the cancer nodules will be compressing on the urethra, which is lying in the middle of the prostate. Okay. So one of the signs and symptoms they have is that when the man feels like urinating, he might stand there to urinate and he has to strain. Instead of just standing there freely and the urine comes, he now has to strain.
Okay.
Or let me say push before the urine comes. That's one of the signs and symptoms. Then apart from that, he may also realize that when he stands to urinate, he thinks he's done. And then before he goes, he realizes that there's still some urine coming.
Okay.
So we call that terminal dribbling.
Okay.
So the other one is straining, where you have to strain. The other one is terminal dribbling, where you think you are done and then there's still some urine coming. That's another one. And then sometimes the men tend to urinate very frequently, especially at night.
Okay.
They may realize that you sleep and then you have to wake up 6 times. Usually 2 to 3 times in the night is okay. But the man may realize that now he has to wake up about 6 times or even more to be able to urinate. The reason is that he's not able to empty the bladder adequately each time. So now he has to wake up multiple times. Now, as the disease advances, it may bleed into the urethra because the urethra lies in the middle of the prostate. So there may be, if it touches the urethra, there may be some blood in it. So he might pass urine and realize that there is urine in his blood. So that may also be one of the signs and symptoms that he may notice. There are quite a number of them. As it advances, there may even be times where he goes to pass through and then he feels pain because now the disease is now entering the rectum, which is just lying close by it. There are quite a number of them. Yeah.
Okay. Lenfani say bia obi a minim no, I'm a guy. No obi a minim no. Onye me busu no, onye me papa, onye me brother, or prostate cancer. Ya diagnosing na. Na se me ben no me nene e wo ho a otumi e disane me ana.
No, not at all. So, so let me just be clear that cancer is not communicable. It's not something that you can directly get from somebody just by staying by them. So quite a number of times people come to the hospital and ask that my relative is diagnosed with cancer. Can I live with them? No, it is not something that you can transfer to another person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it's been established, say, be no, my father, enya prostate cancer, ebi my brother, enya bi. Now, say, me, ebi African, I made 20. I mean, and I know, say, age to me play a factor. Then I made me a as a preventive measure. Made me do me papa and fear so me prostate cancer.
Okay, thank you on that. So I was mentioning earlier on the risk factors associated with getting cancer. Now, there are also some factors that are noted to reduce your risk of getting cancer. So, in the obesano, what I'd advise the person is that they have to watch their way of life. For example, they have to have a healthy diet. Healthy diet is very important. So, usually we've all learned from primary school that if you want to eat food, you must have proteins, proteins, vitamins, carbohydrates, and all of that. So all of this has to be in moderation. So the person has to remember to follow a very healthy diet plan. It doesn't mean that don't eat, go hungry the whole day in the name of preventing prostate cancer. And now, apart from that, it's also known that people who are very active physically tend to have a reduced risk of developing prostate cancer. So, for example, people who exercise about 3 hours in a week, just 3 hours in a whole week, 3 hours of exercise is known to reduce the risk of getting prostate cancer. And then talking about diet again, taking a lot of vegetables, the broccolis, cauliflower, cabbage, and those things are known to reduce the risk of getting prostate cancer. And then also, they are also advised some other foods like tomato, for example. It's known to have an ingredient in it that is known to reduce the risk of getting prostate cancer. So, Obisano, I'll advise the person to try and then take note of these things and then follow this. And then also, we'll talk about screening later on. I don't know whether it's the right time to mention, but we'll talk about screening later for such an individual.
All right. Yeah. Prostate cancer, is it a death sentence?
No, it's not a death sentence. I know that when cancer is mentioned, people usually get scared because that is what we've been hearing. That's what we're made to believe, that when somebody is diagnosed with cancer, then it means the person is going to die. But it's not exactly so. It is not so at all, because there are a lot of people who have been cured of their cancers. Every day we see people. Yesterday I saw a lot of people in the clinic at the hospital who have been diagnosed with cancer. and most of them, their diseases have been cured and they are walking about. In fact, yesterday was Thursday. It was a day for prostate cancer clinic.
Okay.
So I saw a lot of people who were cured of their prostate cancer. So that alone is evidence that it is not a death sentence.
It is curable.
It is curable.
So a cure. Is it surgery? Is it medication? Is it lifestyle change? And I say, quite better to cure a prostate cancer.
Okay. Say the medical about 1 in 8 men in their lifetime will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, the treatment, whether you even treat or not, or the treatment you will give, will depend on the stage of the disease and then the age of the person you are dealing with, whether the person is fit enough to withstand treatment, the person's remaining lifespan, maybe how long are they likely to live. All of this will determine what treatment you offer them.
Okay.
However, generally, there are some modalities that, for example, surgery can be done in very, very early stages. The patient or the individual can have surgery done to take out the prostate, to take out where the prostate that contains the cancer.
Okay.
And then apart from that, we also have something we call radiotherapy. For the radiotherapy, we have one that we call brachytherapy, where there are radioactive seeds that are put inside the prostate. It's a simple procedure that is done in theater anyway. We put some radioactive seeds that are small grains of rice in the prostate, and then they gradually release some dose of radiation, and then this kills the cancer cells. And then there's also the external beam radiotherapy, which we do most often, where it's still radiation that's used, and then it's used to help kill the cancer cells.
Okay.
And then we also have medications that are given, injections that the individual will take, a set number of them if the disease is not advanced. And all of these are modalities that are available that can help to cure the cancer.
And to and say ebia who suspect and I say who feel say who prostate cancer and if no concussions because we go hospital they can give you injections, medication depending on the stage who cancer no edru no utimi no mundro keke na ohu ato ana say uje eye panie na ohu ato ana say surgery na bebo wa na no the best thing na obey ne say obetimi akopie mu e hospital. Na doctor membisa say at what age ena e was say nipa bema ehia say bia or call hospital to just have checkups because when you say Ghana checkups they enka your vocabulary your enka ho at what age na e was say bema to me ehia say yes ade.
Okay, so generally a man from the ages of 55, let me bring it down. Usually the standard one is 55 to 69, but we advise that from 50 years onwards. So any man from the ages of 50 to 69 years should be doing some form of screening for their prostate.
Okay. So
the screening usually includes a PSA test. PSA is a blood test, so they will take samples from your blood, and then they will check for the value of the PSA. So PSA stands for prostate specific antigen.
Okay.
Say prostate specific antigen and I say PSA no level no ecosra. It may be because the person is developing prostate cancer, but it's not always because there are so many causes of a rise in somebody's PSA. So the fact that your PSA has gone up does not necessarily mean that you may have prostate cancer. So that person is supposed to be doing a PSA test yearly or once in 2 years, depending on what your doctor advises you on. And then also, based on what the PSA value is, the doctor may also let them do something we call a digital rectal examination. So the doctor will examine the prostate gland, how it feels like, whether there are any nodules in it that could be cancer, whether it is hard, whether it is normal. So all of these things can be done. It's something that is done in the clinic within a few minutes, if not seconds. So it's not complicated. Now, the 50 years to 69 years I mentioned is for the general population. If somebody has a family history of cancer, then they have to start the screening much earlier. So for example, if you have a first degree, maybe your father or your brother had cancer, then you have to start much early in your 40s. You don't have to wait till you get to 50 years because such people have a higher risk. And some who say cancer now, it tends to be more aggressive. Those people who have a genetic predisposition.
Okay. Now, Sistiano, prostate cancer treatment and management, is it expensive?
Well, it depends. I would say generally that it costs quite some Ghana cedis, and it also depends on the financial background of the individual.
Okay.
But then, what amount of money are we going to compare to our life? So I think that is where we should look at it from. If you are healthy, if you are strong, you could be able to live and work and earn whatever money you need to get. So yes, it will cost you some amount of money. Most of the time in the hospitals around, you'll be required to pay whatever amount in bits, not all of it at the same time. But it may cost you some money, but again, you can't compare that amount of money to the cost of your life.
Okay. You said this month a prostate cancer month. Can you share idea a outfit and I say more group they are more here to mark the month and create awareness?
Well, generally, what we have done, it's giving talks when we are invited, like you have done now. Most people will not, but when you invite us, because we see the people daily, most of the time things can pass by without you really realizing. But then what we can do to help the public is to give talks like we are doing now. Sometimes I go to churches and then give talks if they invite me to talk about it. Because generally, the word cancer in our society has some form of image attached to it. People sometimes don't want to talk about it, but people are suffering from it. So we need to talk about it. So we keep talking about it every now and then. And then I would like to add that people should realize that prostate cancer is there. Just assuming that cancer is not there does not mean that it's going to vanish. So it's such that sometimes you see people and people are coming for treatment. It's like they want to hide. They don't want people to see that they are being treated for this particular disease. But they want people to know that they too, they are having this condition. But just as people are suffering from hypertension, diabetes, you may know some people, malaria, and whatever sickness you may mention. There's somebody else who has to get treatment for their prostate cancer. And for that matter, any type of cancer. So let's educate ourselves. Let's realize that it is real. It's there. Sometimes you may not realize how true or how real it is until somebody close to you is the one who has to get that treatment or who has that diagnosis.
Ghana, is prostate cancer common? Numbers in it is saying.
Yeah, so I try to get some data to just share with you. Based on, we don't have so much strong data like people do outside. But then there's a place that we usually refer to, GlobalCan 2020. They actually stated that in the year 2020 alone, there were about 2,129 cases. But this data is actually limited because it's based on a section of the population in Ghana, not all of that. So this is, even this small amount, there were about 2,129 new cases in 2020 alone. And then the deaths were about 1,117
deaths from prostate cancer
in 2020. As I mentioned, this is just limited data because it was in a part of the country, not everywhere. So it tells you how big the figures are. And then each and every day in my center where I work in Kolebu, we see about 10 new people every time that we have a clinic for prostate cancer. We see 10 new cases every day. This is just a clinic alone in Kolebu, not to do with
Ghana.
cases in yes.
And this is even for people who actually report and I say attend hospital because
most of the people they never come. Yeah.
Wow. So for something that is curable, how do you get such high numbers of deaths, up to over 1,000?
So it is the reason why I'm here, because the challenge is that most Ghanaians, as we know, you will hear people saying, "Oh, me 10 years in the hospital," that, and it's almost like they are happy or it's something they are bragging about. 10 years I haven't gone to hospital, then they are happy. And then even when people finally go to the hospital, they go very late. Until the symptoms in the start here, somebody will tell them in a trotro that it is cocoa. So they'll start doing some local medicine, small. Then finally, when they decide to go to hospital, they will not even go to the specialist who can help them. They will go to some wayside somewhere and start some treatment. So it happens that most of the time, by the time you see the people, the disease is advanced and often beyond a stage where they can be cured. So that's one of the main reasons why we have these high numbers of deaths.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What final words we are person need for?
Okay, so just to let you know that as long as you are a man, you have a prostate. At least all the men I've met before do have prostate. So I'm very certain that.
Could there be some men who don't have?
Well, maybe somebody may say that they don't have a prostate or they may want to escape from that fact. But to say that once you are a man, you have a prostate. And remember that 1 in 8 men in their lifetime will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. So that's a very close figure. So just remember that as you age, you need to take care of yourself. The general health things I talked about, your activity level, exercise, your diet, and then smoking is something that is no when it comes to cancer.
Okay.
So if you are smoking and you are aging, and these are some of the things too that you want to take into consideration. And then remember to start doing your prostate screens at least when you are 50 years and above. Once in a year or once in 2 years, you need to visit your urologist and get a PSA test done and get an examination done. Okay. And then for those who are diagnosed, kindly see somebody who is trained and specialized in treating that. We often find people who will spend a lot of time at the wayside, spend a lot of their money, and then finally when they come to hospital, it is late. Even when you offer them any treatment, they are not ready because they've spent everything that they have on them. So kindly take note, screen yourself because it can be close by.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doc, for coming this morning. I hope it's here for I phone ne wahanom entin bema no me pamcho me I'm giving you 5 minutes. So mo betimi afre more questions and I say bibi chiro mo adwen efa eye prostate cancer, prostate health ho a mo betimi afre number no na we bisa doc e wahanom na wa church mo ensem bi amonte ase ho me de me oba nti no ebia me nhye da ehun nneoma ne mu ye me ntumi nte ase yie number ne de me ni say bi mu nim dadaba me fan to 0555 657278 0555-657278. You know be ewo ahomane so. Hello, good morning. Pacho dini baby Alfrefi.
Good morning. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Pacho meet you.
Yes, I'm Eden. Tribune. Question me person me bisa say. The basa na say your operation na sa you know can want some what you call it?
Radiotherapy no.
Yeah, radiotherapy any urina you know. Yeah, to me my continue one. That is what I wanted to know.
Anokwa radio pa. Yo, me pacho ye da say doc until you say it me affect the erection and I say functions of the penis and
Thank you very much. So I know that erection is something that is very, very essential for men. And most of the time, even in the hospital, anytime we have to do treatment for men in terms of prostate cancer, one of the main concerns they have is their sexual functions or the ability to be able to maintain an erection. So to answer that question, let me just go back a bit. Now, there's a hormone in men, your friend, testosterone.
Okay.
So what DNA testosterone. Now, the function of testosterone is that it is the hormone. The value is highest in men. Women have it, but not so much as men.
Okay.
It's a hormone that gives a man his high libido.
Okay.
It's a hormone that gives the man the edge to want to have sex. Now, when a man develops prostate cancer at any age in his life as he grows older, this same testosterone is like fuel for the prostate cancer cells.
Okay.
You get something?
Okay.
So the testosterone causes the cancer cells, or it's like the cancer cells feed on the prostate, the testosterone to grow. So now in the treatment, they will give some medications that reduces the value or the level of the testosterone in the man's blood.
Okay.
So that it's not all the treatment anyway, but when the man has to be given that medication, it can affect his erectile function.
Okay.
But there are other ways to go around it. There are medications that we usually prescribe to these men that can help not to let all of this go away. So yes, for some men who have to receive this treatment, especially when the disease is at its advanced, where they have to take these medications, it does affect their erectile function. Okay. But there is a way, or there are other treatments that can be given to try and help this as well.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Pacho Udi any baby Alfrefi.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Pacho, what question up so bisa doctor now?
Doc. Pacho, also the excessive sex to prevent prostate cancer. I don't know whether there is any reality in that statement.
Okay.
The
Excessive sex, frequent sex. If you have, can it prevent prostate
cancer?
Okay, I was expecting this question. If this question didn't come, then the program was not over. So thank you for asking, bringing me back. Yeah, so there's been a research that has shown that when a man has 21 ejaculations and above in a month, 21 ejaculations in a month and above, his risk of developing prostate cancer reduces by about 20%.
Wow.
Now, that is what the research came out with. And most of the research, you cannot really tell exactly what amount that research was what reduced that. But this is just one research, actually. There are other researches have shown that there is no correlation between the number of ejaculations and then the development of prostate cancer. So, and also another thing was that the people who were able to have this number of ejaculations probably were healthy individuals who were able to go to this extent.
Okay.
More so to practically for a man, 21 ejaculations in a month. I don't know how practicable it is for a man who is in an active working life, has to be at work daily, has to take care of his family or himself to have that. So that is the information that's out there, but there is not so much weight to it for somebody to say that, okay, I'm going to do that to reduce my risk. So for now, it is not very clear. That's what I'm going to say.
Ebefa your last caller na fe no ye din komochiche na bewe number na 0555 657278. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Pacho Din.
Yes. Yes, Sammy. Dr. Kpatsi.
Okay.
Actually, doctor say on some Korean research in November next week. Because yeah, visa and on Wakasa satisfies almost about 50 to 60% research not just to say visa.
21 it reduces the risk by 20%.
And I'll say number to an actual account. Because
and as a doctor can in our woundy. Yes, I actually much will be very
because besides say the pressure always in our sector and reduce prostate and also research I almost 25%. I can say a number. We say you see and probably Yana no crowd. Doctor, for your research, the Sabra, now it's a somebody become.
Dr. Penin Pali and then to studio high can. And you know, that's on choir research in Umbra.
Sorry for using that yet. Or say, most of the research I am now, at 25%, I just the sanity, but also end out to put my team. And I may make sure say, the percent of money authentic. They all can extra. The battery will just be reduced in the position. The last one, who can say, Isaac, and friend, one friend, but I say it yes, I should bomb ya, man, bomb ya, met to amount.
Yeah, that's it. I think that doc, I want to remember wait medium because I still insist to say, Idi and TSM now can I say because say there's been a research. Omuka say it may reduce risk by about 20%. And there have been other research and also about Bontiabeka said there is actually no correlation. It's obviously most of the time, no, even research I publish health journals or bit me another researcher a different way but into the doctor Cheche I think say for some men the multi sex are naturally say sex and on person keke.
I want to just clarify things better. I know that when it comes to prostate cancer, sex, it's something that men are passionate about. What I mentioned is that there's been a research that has mentioned that a man who has 21 ejaculations or more in a month reduces his risk of getting prostate cancer. which is about 20% in that paper. Now, there have been other researches that have also come out to say that there is not really a correlation. They haven't found any correlation to say that increased number of ejaculations or having sex reduces the risk of getting prostate cancer. So this is the information. So the information we currently have, it's not something to stand on and say that go and have a lot of sex so that you can reduce your prostate cancer.
Exactly.
I assume that those people who are listening are all able to process these details well. That is why, and I knew the question was going to come, because every time we talk about prostate cancer, the question does show up.
Okay.
So as it stands now, that information is not clear. And even if it is, the figure is what I mentioned, which most of the time in the standard world that we live in, it's, you can say, a bit impracticable to be able to get to that level. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the information is not clear as we have it now. So let's all be guided on that detail.
You rather focus on the scientific friend is saying that talks about healthy lifestyle, exercising, eating well, and all that. And now, so all this sex and can fine.
Exactly.
But don't make that say when did you unye exercise da, unye screening, unye share, but sex and ana would you see when you so worry about 2 ne 3 ne ade. No M1. Doctor, you your final words and to us on afino. Yanko break embra.
So I think I've mentioned a lot already. I think one of the things I didn't mention was the risk factors. In terms of the risk factors, one of them was to remember that, in fact, we've realized that prostate cancer tends to be common among. If you take somebody, a white person and a black person, we the black people tend to have a higher risk.
Wow.
Yes, of prostate cancer than the white. Okay. We have about twice the risk of what a white person does have. So I think it's very essential that the person listening to me, it's most likely that the one listening is an African or an African American. So to take note that your risk of developing prostate cancer is quite high. So it's something to take note of and take care of yourself. And another risk factor I didn't mention was a high body mass index, or people who are obese.
Overweight,
it's known that if you are overweight, your risk of developing prostate cancer is higher.
Okay.
So it all comes back to the exercise, trying to be physically active. All this is known to help reduce your risk of developing prostate cancer.
Okay.
Yes. So for now, I'll leave it there.
Okay. I better say, Doc, say, with me a studio, Hanua, when I ever come on. My name Dr. Stephen Kpatsi, resident clinical oncologist at National Center for Radiotherapy Oncology and Nuclear Medicine, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and your teaching komo efa a prostate cancer. Say we are Obama with 50 aircraft me pacho, and nay kase we now with me akopim hospital akwaye screening. Ashe ebia wo crash ni ho. Omo ka kire wa eno kwa bema we ni agi yi ama wo ba with me bo bra fine. Wo koso na bibi wo mu a omo ehu ne ntem se ne be ya mboa e wo honom omo betumi e de abo a wo nko se sika ne wo ho oden e wo baby en feel say yare bi na ye o meanwhile no na ye prostate cancer. Yeda mo say ye ko break abaye ba ye de dwumedie no ebeto aso.
Happy 98.9 FM. Enijenkwa.
Enti program you cry paint be ni bet media paint via me fia ye kama.
Hey, asanto anti wo da so gina ha no mo edwin paint ho. Landlord for, estate for, any tenant for, ya tete mo ka so e de amamo. Welcome paint e ye paint won so bia bedwa so a. So if you are two kura na, obetimi awa paint wo. Asanto akọ paint ni wo be foforo. Abo bia ni wa, obetimi agina belka paint no. Se eja eto fie ho no mo a, belka paint ni bobo eja pade ho ban. Be fa wo nyama nyina pepepe. E kojo nti me dan be se am ya plastering ni paint ni. We see kasem so wo form. We see kasem wo form. Uni problem. As some then say auto belka paint, obetimi dia plaster e be ya kama pa. Obetimi e dia ya wo ceiling nso. Ne wo hia ne say wo de bopla wo de keke. Obetimi e dia ya ceiling designs ahodo. E odorless. Esanso e ya soundproofer. Say wo di nkomo e wo dan mu kra na obi entumi ente. Sa Michael's Grace Group Limited for na dia showroom no e wo Kaswa New Market second gate wa.
Girls name brand amaba. Out feature ayamofo. Obetimi atobi atale wo dem ultra picture na. E be kama.
Wo dia ne say obebo dia na wabo ahome no mu. 0244 598305 0244 598305 and 0244 583973 0244 583973. Belka Paint, let the paint do the talking. Belka Paint, my paint no casamount.
Prayer Rally, Prayer Rally, Prayer Rally. Salt and Light Ministries invites you, your family and friends to a prayer rally on the theme, O Jerusalem. I have posted watchmen on your walls. They will pray day and night continually. Take no rest. All you who pray to the Lord, give the Lord no rest until he completes his work, until he makes Jerusalem the pride of the earth. Isaiah chapter 62 verse 6 to 7. Come, let us pray for our nation Ghana. Speaker, Miss Abigail Ama. Date, Saturday the 14th of October 2023. Venue, Christ the King Parish Hall. Time, 8:30 a.m. Ministering choir, Harmonious Chorale. Please call 0268 130 615 or 0243 588 467 for further information. See you there. God bless you.
Are you tired of roaming for your medications and can't find them? Sick and alone and can't get anyone to get your drugs? Do you need to talk to a pharmacist? Or do you feel uncomfortable when buying certain drugs from the
Oh, inside of that.
Thank you.
Mondays to Fridays on Happy 98.9 FM. Happy FM 98.9. 98.9 Happy FM. The morning show that brightens your morning with exciting news, great music, great talk, and incisive discussions. This is the Happy Morning Show, Mondays to Fridays on Happy 98.9 FM.
The 10 aspirants, the vice president.
Friday into no yen chest so cram be a fast and a bear bit me aquaji na anopɛ me say be say a year watermelon a ye dia a year ready ni local language and I say e wo krom kasa mu no ye ka ne say and I say ye ka color blue a e wo krom kasa mu no ye ka ne say color blue ye can say e won kremu ye can say wo twi mu ye can say e wo ever mu ye can say e wo house mu na da bani mu so e ana say nzima mu e na ye ka say obi enya broken heart so a ye can say e wo krom kasa mu na obi so e ye kokonsani ana say ye village gossiper ye can say e wo kasa mu we nyina efa e ye baby careful spelling G competition no ho Baby Careful in collaboration with the Language Center of the University of Professional Studies highlighting the beauty of our local Ghanaian languages through spelling competition. Competition no ayade mo participating in 6 to 7 local languages. Tree eka ho so na ever language no eka ho Ga eka ho Dagbani Hausa me pacho so unim say to krom kasa yie pa bibia ebebo bia no betumi aka no local language ni mu a wo be register na afa wetumi aye competition ni bi wo be send you on WhatsApp and asa wo be from e wo phone so 0560 700 700 and 02444 66149 And as a common website www.babycareful.org. Partners are Omuruye Judge Media Language Center UPSA, CD Maker, Honest Workers. Media partners no Happy 98.9 FM NAY FM. Abrante bi eko 2 girl bi. Na oko 2 girl no ka che girl no say o weekend me pese obefie. Inti girl yi do fie honom ohwe gate ye bo fie ya no ohwe dan na esi ho no say wow. Love dear, it is sweet, but it is sweeter when money enters. Oh, unti ohwe na ne ni age. Afa de bra bie dan ye mamuko inside that. Hey! Aden na habon sa. Na den na roof is so asese nsuo didi mo say ye den. Na chere say dan wo na ye pentima mento ana say den abontin fefefe inside basa. Ehwa na ba si there be brother yi me peno. Me last chance am de be ware ani. Nti en dia woman men kan kire ne say onko eye Michael Grace Company Limited nonko enkoje eye Belka Cotton Paints. Na so oje Belka Cotton Paint ye painti dan yi mu eye ceiling yi bibia kama. Na say ye dia ware ne hihye so ayanka say nya visitors na mo be fia on be hu say yes. Belka Cotton Paint ye eye odorless, eye soundproof, fireproof, a serve as repellent against mosquitoes, insects. So ene ye reusable me favorite part e anu no. Eye na obufu a ware paint ko baby foforo. So ena cracks wo dan mu etumi ceiling no kama. Enfedi o empepada enye paint bi obehu na nsu ahokora ma baby aye white baby aye blue there. So ena enye fidie o hia ne se odi ntoma bo nsuom na odi apepa so. Me pacho are resistant to heat. Ghana yenim say we abopa ni se wu na mewie ma ko roll them na se wo oven. We here a ye Belka Cotton Paint. Utumi so de painty baby say ye glass so say a ye unplastered wall, say ye wood, a ye plastic baby a durable and very very affordable. Utumi so e de ye wu ceiling design into what Belka painter a ye to say one stop shop. Utumi de ye bibia e fa wo dan no. Na ni nyina mu no ye san so ema 2 years warranty adepa eneton. Ubenya Belka Paint e Kaswa New Market Second Gate. Taifa Burkina opposite Roman School. Takrady 1111 opposite Melco. Koforidua Kole opposite McDick Royal Plaza. Sunyai Omuwa Troni Station Saso na Kumata Omuwa Bokrom Limits. Ubetumi from e 0562 05612 85952 and 0505 229163 and 0242323963. Make us say a year Brian sister a your china and omudio wedding no ebe shishe so. Ni thanks to Belka Cotton Paint. Na Tovila water e weke wonders e wo nipa duano emu. Wankasa oti dina ne hu say yes insuo pa e na wo ba benya anu. Tovila Water Solutions no they are the proud producers of Tovila natural purified drinking water. Omo dispenser 20 liters and one is what am now the so na fe wubu nom sa. Me pacho e ma convenience so e na e safe. FDA for adia to menye nsuo bia okota hu say FDA ba na wudwane dem. So e no mo prompt delivery dey here say obefrɛ mo 0552490684. And tempa omudi nsuo ebebrɛ wo. Ebo no so e very competitive e da for me yankasa. Me pacho nom Tovila natural purified water ene na fe no build the body metabolism no release toxic waste in the body, improve your skin. Because omuni say ya the pan omuton omuni problem no open free sample omu de be ma from 0552490684. Me pacho company kese bi pa e ya de o se yen hwehwe e security guards emomo. And one say odi CV ebeba o de ba pe omu ye interview kakra bi na wo nya eduma wo ya na. Me pacho we interested da me pacho omu say Yanjiji CVs ni nyina emo e wo happy hanom because happy the asylum down e okrom. Na mudi mu CV ni beja ye e wo happy FM front desk na afi no ye de amedwume koi na o ma frem enemu edin sa wo. CBG custody account no what's in kada na me pacho wunim say we say nipa de wo ho a wutumi enya cash reserves we na say investment require security for your investment na CBG custody account no is your best bet. Almost wukuta sika kitu ebi to say be 10,000 Ghana cedis in cash and as investment. Individuals, pension funds, mutual funds, companies with reserve funds, NGOs, international funds and investment firms ni nyina no. Mubetumi akwa bie a custody account with CBG. Ubie a custody account with CBG. You enjoy the best experience with almost state-of-the-art technology and digital offerings. Robust control and secured systems, swift settlement and transaction processing protocols in nyina ewo honum so and it comes at no transaction cost, unbeatable custody fees and excellent customer service. CBG ewo 114 branches ewo mayu into utumi ko emu bia ekobie eye wo custody account. Kai said the minimum is 10,000 Ghana cedis per. Opesa onyo mochuchun koma fre 0302216,000. Email no talk to us at cbg.com.gh or visit them at any of their social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Terms and conditions apply. Wait me be o custody account no na fake kakra no opesa wodusua bibi a ebeboa ama wait me enya adwuma pa ye enya sika mo ene na make am for Heritage Christian College ama omo ye BSc nursing degree program no a year accredited by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission and the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Omo ultra modern and well equipped skills lab no a idea ebua for practicals. Sanso no mo hands on training no mo ma wo ye adwuma ne tesese ne ya fa wo adwuma ma wo ye adwuma na wo di sua ade. Me pacho opese uko school e wo Heritage Christian College omo other degree programs I obetimi choose. BBA programs no options in accounting, marketing, human resource management, banking and finance, and business infotech management. SARS no more BSc Information Technology, BSc Information Security, Bachelor of Theology. And yeah, no come sign war professional programs obviously ICA, CIMG, CIHRM, ICM, and media short courses we bring. Me pacho ade ma Heritage Christian College down so any entrepreneurship training na de ma student bia no ma sign the financial support appear. Me pacho one student one laptop ne de enye campaign promise e ya ade ekoso ewo Heritage Christian College. The here is obey students of the institution no na fe no what apply for one student one laptop program. Almost I swear affordable and flexible fee structure. Me patcho so qualify for scholarship and ya dia obrekra omode amount. HCC and I say Heritage Christian College, you know, omo amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. Ubo Rock Campus, one who say yes, Abrochira Bagan. Me patcho from 054 7777731. Ubo 054 now about 75 now with the 31 aka home. And I said for 02022983999. And I said dial *789*300#. Now at our online serial number no and no and I'll become website to acco apply on website near www.hcuc.edu.gh. Heritage Christian College, a university training compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. Water is life and nuntia and I'm say Awake purified drinking water no I was told to me and be Awake is a premium purified water treated through a strict purification process to ensure that every bottle on the market refreshes you better. We have the perfect sizes fit for all use, or more 330 ml, or more 500 ml, ɛno no etumi ɛhyɛ wo pocket mu na me de 330 ml ne deɛ me so wa akola okosko opese onu munsu emu eye krogin a eboa no ewo na pomuden mu dia ene de bia age awake 330 ml no ketwa kama enye ade okono munsu na se no obefi school ba na wanum ni nyina Sansu no mo 750 ml for heavy drinkers and 1.5 liters for mo amode insua na mo de esi mani so mo be no Sansu and more 19 liter jar wo hono ma ideal for homes and offices, churches and public places. The hours all ya say wonum Awake purified drinking water baby Choose a bottle of Awake purified drinking water today and get quality hydration fit for your pocket. Awake purified drinking water, one for life. Kai say bottle bi a obetono eyadia omuyi musikani bi ekoma the National Cardiothoracic Center. Another quality product by Casapreco Company Limited. Open a 282 0282351251. FDA AJ sa enkratui atumu. I don't call next level premium energy drink and no and a weekend ye DC and isu ye be no man. Obia ebeje baako because you know you say excessive drinking no enye nti e wo so wonya baako e hye o bag na afi no wanom nti once a day bia no enye bone. Mepacho Adonko Next Level Premium Energy Drink. It contains vitamins and proteins, more energy, a boost to strength and vitality that is required to sustain physical or mental activity. More fast recovery after rigorous exercise. Fast delivery on tasks, mood improvement, enhancing concentration and memory improvement. It relieves bodily pain. So, and recommended for all manner of people, especially the hardworking ones. Upe Adonko Next Level Premium Energy Drink ni biato afre 02048986998 and 0592610998. Bipacho Kai says and excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. This is not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. Adonko Next Level Premium Energy Drink, no limit. Meaning, Ede Fati Shaibu Aliyah aha. And ye day a year happy morning show no ABC. Odi asempa kwame oware aye radio oba betwa konyan efi meton se ne ebe ya odi a year sports no ebebremu. Madam si makramo.
It's Abuna and myself.